it's Mike.
I'm Ravin.
And we're about to play the first quest of Zombicide White Death.
Yeah.
And we got a couple things done. Yeti's almost done. We got the Necromancer and the abomination. We got our team over there. We just got to finish up the who's the end purple knight there, the celestial one.
Arrakis?
Yeah.
I think is how
he's almost done. They're pretty strong too, but we'll just use one of them to try them out.
Cool.
We have the guards now too on the wall. So we'll go through the added rules this time as they come up. This time too, because now we can use one of our blue skills also has guard skills. So when we have an action to control the guards in this one.
Cool.
There's free spawn points in there where the corruption starts. And this one we have to mix the blue and green objectives with the red objectives. And if we get either the blue or green objective, we get a vault weapon.
Okay.
And if we get the red weapon, we get 5 AP.
Okay.
So we'll mix those up. Flip those around. Mix these up. And we'll put those on the board. And then we'll start with your team as the first player.
Okay.
So like preview editions, each tile has an objective. So we put them on each tile.
Okay.
If we pick up the blue or green objective and there's no vault weapons left, then we get 5 AP. Let's go for it. The flag is if we do an action on that, we can get a dragon bile from the discard or the deck too.
Okay.
And the point of this one is to have, what's the objectives? Seize as soon as the following. All objectives have been taken, so we have to take each objective.
Okay.
The survivors have 4 Dragon Bile cards collectively in their inventories, so we don't have to get it from the flag. If we search for them, we do it, but we have to have 4 in our whole team. And all survivors on battlement walkways, including guards. So if the guards die in this one, we don't lose, but all the guards on the board have to be on the wall, and so do we.
All right.
At the end. And there are no zombies on the battlefield walkways, so basically, get the bile and get on the wall, and have the guards on the wall too is the objective.
Sounds
and we have to get all the objectives, so we have to rush to try to get those too. And then the beacon's over there, so we can't let the corruption spread over that way.
Right.
Now, Arcus, the Celestial Knight, they're pretty strong, and they have this special rule too. Do you want to show the card over here? So instead of they can put armor in their weapon slot, but they can't put anything else. So they get this power they can use, and if you're in the same spot as someone, you roll 2 dice, hits on freeze, and it does 3 damage. So it's pretty strong.
Okay.
And it's one-time use, but it's rechargeable. So to recharge it, you have to spend 3 actions to recharge it. So basically your turn, unless you're in yellow, or minus less of wounds. So if you decide to take 2 wounds, it will only take you 1 action to recharge it.
Okay.
So you have to debate if you want to take a wound to do it. And they don't have a guard skill. So can you grab the guard skills next to the abomination cards over there? So how these work, there's a bunch of different guard skills that you can get, and you randomly select one. So if you're using a character from Black Plague or some of the other, I'm not sure all of them.
Green
Green
Horde,
Tide.
I think one of
Yeah,
them's
Green
called.
Tide. And they don't have a blue guard skill like the other ones. You can randomly select one from
Cool.
this.
That's neat.
So do you want to, you'll turn them over and shuffle them, and you pick one for Arcus? So which one do we get for him?
Do second one off the top.
Guards plus 1 die, range. So if you do a range attack with them, they'll get an extra die.
Nice.
Because we'll move your hand over for a sec. That's the stats for guards. So melee, they roll 1 dice, hit on 4s. Range, they same profile, but it's range 1 to 1.
Okay.
Okay, so then we'll get into Arcus actually going first. The ladders also, to get up onto the walkway, you have to go up the stairs. Ladders, you can spend an action to put them on the edge of any wall tile, and you can climb up it that way. So you can put it, to get down, we're going to have to put the ladders to go down that way.
Okay.
Zombies can't climb up the ladders. But certain characters like the abomination and stuff can just go through them and stuff. But zombies, and I never saw anywhere, and I tried to look, but we're probably going to keep them up there. I don't think guards can go up and down the ladders either. Because I was thinking if you could take some of the guards and take them off the wall. But I'll have to see if anybody knows if they saw anywhere in the rule book that I don't know if guards can go up the ladders either. And the Cauldrons are, if you spend free actions in their zone, you can push over those Cauldrons and anyone in the next tile, it's like a Molotov, a free damage thing. It kills everything in its zone next to it.
Okay. It's like dumping boiling oil on their head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or if you have free guards in that same zone, you can spend an action for the free guards in the same zone to push a Cauldron over.
Okay. So we're going to do, I don't know if it's Arcus or Aracus. If anybody knows, please let us know. I'm going to activate him first, and I'm going to move him towards this set of guards, and then pick up that objective.
Okay.
1, 2. And that's the blue one.
It's already the blue one. Okay. That worked out. So you get a vault weapon.
Ice bow.
Nice. What's that one do?
So 1 to 3, range, 2 dice, hits on 3s, 1 damage.
And it has freeze range. Nice. So if you hit the zone, you put a freeze token there so you can freeze the zone.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow. That's pretty strong. Cool. Okay.
So I'm going to activate Lorna now, and she is going to use, because her blue ability, as we said in the last video, she has 1 free move action. So she's going to use it to go here. Oops. And then her first action will be to go here. Her second action, she's going to pick up this ladder. And her third action, she'll go here. So now I'm going to activate Ogun, and I'm going to move him towards Lorna and pick up if I can pick up the objective, if I get that far, I'll pick up the objective.
Yeah, 1, 2. Oh, no, you can't pick it up because it'll cost you free actions to get there.
Yeah, but I'll move him towards Lorna.
So I'm going to use the Tori Hanzo, and I'm going to move where your Celestial Knight is for 2 actions.
Okay.
And I'm going to trade you for the other sword, because that way I'll be able to duel it, and then it'll do 2 damage.
Shashka. I think it's a Shashka.
So I'm going to move over there with Hato.
Okay.
So now I traded. You have your ice bow still.
Yep.
And what was the +1 range for your guards you got for your blue skill for okay.
Yes.
I'm going to spend free actions with Zook, who has the lance this one, to go into the zone where the ladder is, where the other guards are. And the spellcaster we have, Usagi Aya, she's going to spend 1 action to go into the zone where the bed is, and another action to search. So what does she get? She only gets to look at 1, so that one.
She got a hornbow.
Nice. And then her last action is to move guards this time. So you can spend 1 action to move, and you don't need line of sight to them. It's just 1 zone that has guards in. They can do an action. So they can do move, they can attack, melee, or they can do a ranged.
Nice.
So we got to move some of these guys up. So let's move those guards forward out the door.
So this way?
No, out the door this way.
There's no door that way.
There's not door? There's no door?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. So, yeah, they'll move towards the beacon. And that's her actions done. So we didn't show you our dashboards for our teams, but her blue skill has spell book, so she can use any spell in her inventory. You still have to delegate 2 hands to use them, but you can use any spell that's in your inventory with spell book.
Cool. In
our last game, Yazuk's back. He has a spear, a lance actually. And that's Hanzo. He has Reaper melee, so if you kill with an action, if you kill somebody with a weapon, whatever you kill with melee, you get to add 1 more kill to it. But it's from the same zone. So if you kill 3 walkers and there's another walker in there, you can kill another one. If you kill 2 brutes, you kill another brute with Reaper.
Nice. So I've got Ogun with a lance this time. And Lorna, who I believe was the MVP from our tutorial game too. And who we just talked about, Arrakis. And he has the ice bow. Along with his celestial attack.
So there's no zombies on the board yet. So now we'll just do spawning. So from number 1 over there. 2 runners. Okay, so we'll put that down. Next one from number 2. 2 brutes. And from the third one, right over there. 4 walkers. So we'll put those on the board, and it will be our turn. So zombies are spawned. And we have them over there. A daily walker that you roll dice and he can be randomly something else too. But how we do the dailies in this one is as soon as the first character to hit yellow, the spawn that spawns a walker will put him in the zone.
Okay.
Sounds good. And then when we finish up more dailies, we'll do the same thing when we do those too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so it will go to Lorna first.
So the first thing Lorna's going to do is pick up the objective. It's a little tucked behind here, but
that gives you 5 AP.
Awesome. So she's going to use her free move action to go here. And then she's going to use an action to move the guards.
Okay.
So the guards move 1 square or 2? Okay. So
I haven't seen any skill yet that can make guards move more than 1 zone.
Okay.
There's Jorn, I think, has it where you get a free guard action, but I haven't seen anyone that has a skill that makes guards move +1 zone.
Okay.
I've seen +1 damage, +1, but anything about movement, I've only seen they only move 1.
Okay, that's good to know. But she's going to move them here.
So that's your first action.
Yeah.
You have 2 actions left.
Second action, she'll go here. Can you do 2 guard
No,
actions?
you're only allowed to do 1 guard action per turn.
Okay.
Even if it's a free action with Jorna, that's still your 1 action you've done. It's just a free AP point to do it.
Okay. And then third action, she'll go here. So Ogon's going to go now, and he's going to search.
Okay.
He got a lightning bolt.
Nice.
That's cool.
Okay.
So for his second action, he's going to go here. And then for his third action, we're going to mosey up the guards. 1 more.
Okay. So I'm going to do a search action with Hanzo.
Spear.
Nice. And for my last 2 actions, I'm going to go straight out towards the wall. Yazuk's going to pick up the ladder for 1 action, and then he's going to spend his other 2 to go to where the stairs are.
Okay.
And I just used up my spellcaster with her free actions up to there. I didn't search before I left. I want to try to get to that wall quickly.
Okay. So Ariakis is going to go now. He's going to search first.
It's all the bows. Warbow. Did we get? I don't think we got that last time.
1 to 3. 2 dice. 3.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty good. And then he's going to move forward where your spellcaster and everybody are.
Okay. So that's everybody on our team. Now we'll go to the zombies and we'll move them up. And if they hit the wall, they can't go any farther unless they get that zombie siege card.
Okay.
So we'll move everybody up and then do spawning. So from number 1.
Necromancer.
Okay. And I didn't finish up we got the other Necromancer, the one that freezes zones. I didn't finish her up more painted, so she's not in this game yet. So we'll just play with this one. The second game we'll play with another Necromancer.
Okay.
But if you do have 2 Necromancers playing, you always have to do the Defiler Necromancer first. And if he's on the board, then you can spawn another Necromancer.
Okay.
If he's off the board, even though if you have another Necromancer, he has to be the first one spawned.
Okay.
So if you want to have 2 Necromancers on the board, he still has to be on the board.
Okay, that's important.
So he'll be from number 1, which his zone will go there. Okay. And then from number 2, Zombie Seeds. Okay, so that's going to come into play. Spawn 1 walker in each corruption zone. Zombies may perform 1 move to climb up. And zombies is all zombies, just not walkers. Right. So those runners, they don't get their 2 actions, but they're going to get to go up onto the wall over there.
Okay.
Okay. And then for the third spawn zone, 2 walkers. And then the Defier spawn zone will be over there. So we have to spawn from that too, because you spawn from that on the first time it comes out too.
Okay.
4 runners. Okay, so we'll put those on the board. So it's already ramped up pretty quickly. We got a lot.
Yeah.
And like we've played other editions to this, if we don't beat the mission, we won't go back and play it again right after because we just filmed it. We'll move on to the next mission, but I'll keep track of the ones we don't beat, and then we'll go back to those ones that we haven't beat after maybe we go through them.
Okay. So Ogun went first, and because he was trailing back a little bit, he was just able to get up to the stairs. So that was his activation.
Also, his blue guard skill is push. So you could actually push zombies off the battlement. Well, they actually say it in the rules. So you could push those runners off the wall if you did push too.
Does it kill them?
It doesn't, unfortunately.
Oh,
they can't. They can climb up it with seeds, but they can fall off whenever they want.
Okay.
So they don't need stairs to come off. They basically, the one that comes to mind is World War Z when they climbed up that wall and made a scene.
Oh, right.
That.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that was a cool scene.
Yeah. So you can push them off it, or they can fall off it. They shamble off and then keep going.
Okay.
So Anz will spend one of his actions to move a guard over. So then on my next turn or someone else, now every guard in that zone can do their melee attack.
Okay.
So there'll be 2 there. So, and then for his next 2 actions, he's going to go to the zone. He's going to go up the stairs, then up onto the battlement where the objective is.
Okay.
And then he's done. Now Zazook is going to spend 1 action to go up where the objective is. He's going to spend the other action to drop his ladder down in that same zone so then we can start going over the wall.
Okay.
Also, if you spend a guard action to attack zombies, you get the AP for it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Same as if you tell the guards if there's 3 there to drop the cauldron, you get the AP for it. The guards don't get the AP.
Makes sense.
So I have 1 more action. I drop the ladder. Do I want to get the guards to attack? Well, I'll pick up that objective.
Okay.
See what that one is.
Another red one.
Okay, so I get 5 AP. Also, if you do ranged attacks like the other ones, there is friendly fire. So if you shoot into the zone with guards, you can kill the own guards too.
Ah, okay.
So you got to remember that.
That's important.
Usagi is going to spend 1 of the guard actions to attack that zone where the runners are.
Okay.
So the guards, every zone get those dice. So I'm going to roll 2 dice because there's 2 guards and they hit on 4s and they do 1 damage. Oh, nothing.
Boo.
Okay. For her next 2 actions, she's going to go up the stairs and onto the battlement walls.
So I'm going to activate Ariakis now, and he's going to use an action to use a guard action to also attack in that zone.
Okay.
Let's hope we roll better this time. So it hits on 4s, right? Yeah. That's better.
Nice. They both got it. So he gets 2 AP.
Cool.
So it's Lorna's turn.
Yep.
We're talking about, you could also spend an action to put the ladder on that zone, climb up it, take an action to take that same ladder and put it down. But you have free movement. You can just go around. You get a free action, so you might as well just go up.
Yes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do free move here.
Yeah.
First action. Second action. And then we're going to third action. Put the ladder here.
Nice.
And that's everybody.
Oh, Oregon's already gone, right? Yeah,
Yes,
I always
he
forgot
went
he's
first.
trailing. I was going to say he could come up. Okay. So, zombie turn. Everybody will move. The Defiler Necromancer will spread corruption towards the beacon, so it's going to go up this way.
Okay.
And then we'll move everybody else and do spawning. So that's everything moved up. The corruption and the first spawner moved up. And his Defiler spawn zone's right there.
Okay.
So now we'll do an order. 1, 2, 3, then the Defiler spawn zone.
All right. Sounds good.
So from number 1,
2 walkers.
okay,
Because
from
we're
number-
still in blue.
number 2,
2 brutes. Seems like lots of brutes in that one spot.
yeah, number 3,
4 walkers.
then the Defiler zone.
Zombie siege. Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, we're getting lucky that those runners, they don't get their double activation, but they're going to climb up the wall.
Yeah.
And then zombies in each corruption zone. So we'll spawn all those, and then we'll be all our turn.
Okay.
So that's everything spawned, moved up onto the wall. Hattori Hanzo's first player now, so I'm going to spend 1 action to move to where the runners are. And my other action is to attack that zone. So I get 2 dice because I have dual weapons. And it does 2 damage now, not that matters because they're runners. And I also have Reaper melee.
Okay.
His blue guard skill is also guards do 2 damage instead of 1, which is cool.
Nice.
But 2 dice. I also have Reaper, so if I kill one, I kill another runner.
Nice. And it hits
On
on
freeze.
Cool.
So he kills one runner, and because of Reaper, he kills one more.
Beauty.
And his third action, he's going to do that one more time. Kills them both. Reaper would kill another one if there was, but there's not. So that zone's cleared. So I came down the ladder and did my free actions to go into that zone with Zazook. So my spellcaster also moved down his free actions. That bow does 2 damage, which is nice, 1 to 2, and it has marksman, so I get to pick my targets I shoot at.
Cool.
Which is nice.
Yeah. So I activated Ariakis. His first action, he moved over with, what is his name? Hanzo?
Yeah.
We'll call him Hanzo. And he's going to shoot the ice bow. And because it's 1 to 3, we're going to try to hit the necromancer.
Yeah, because there's no in the way test or anything. It's just you're on the battlefield. Well, you can see that zone, so you can shoot it.
Yeah, we do got to hit the walker first.
Yes, because it's target priority. So how many dice is that will go?
It's 2 dice and it hits on 3s.
Nice. So even if you miss, they say, you still freeze the zone. So if none of your, because Yazoo has that for melee freeze. So even if you miss, that zone gets freezed.
Okay, cool. So.
Hits on freeze.
Yeah.
You hit both. So you kill the zombie and you kill the necromancer. Nice.
Nice.
And that zone would get freeze, but if there's no zombies in the zone, you don't put a freeze marker.
That makes sense.
So because there's no zombies there not to activate.
How many AP with the necromancer?
It's only 1 AP for the necromancer. It's 5 for abominations.
Okay,
unless it
cool.
states otherwise. And the vault weapon would drop there. So we'll take a vault weapon, not looking at it. And the other game, we just automatically picked it up when we jumped in there, but you have to spend an action to actually reveal it and take it.
All right.
So because your blue skill, the guards actually have +1 range.
Yeah.
So you could actually hit that, but that's only 2 shots you're doing on 4s. You might as well use your ice bow again.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing in that other zone with the 4. So let's see. Hits on 3s. Nope.
Okay, but you still freeze that zone. So you would take a freeze marker and put it there, and now that zone doesn't get to activate. Even if there was runners there, they would lose both their activations too.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. If a zombie moves into that zone, they don't get frozen, but those zombies are not going to get their activation. So they would go, you would remove the freeze token, and then the zombies can move into it.
It doesn't affect the spawner or anything, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
We also took off the Defiler spawner too, but the other one stays where it moved up to.
Right, okay. So I activated Lorna. She spent an action to do a guard action to bring the other one with her in her zone. She's going to use her free move to go here. She's going to spend
Her second action to attack with the bow?
Yes. So it is only 1 dice and hits on 3s, but it's better than nothing. So we got 1.
Yeah. And then you're going to spend your last action to go back up?
Yep.
Okay. Just like last game, she's getting close to yellow too?
Yep.
Okay, and then Oregon's going to spend 2 actions to go up and then get that objective?
Yes.
What's that one?
Another red.
Okay, so he gets 5 AP.
So for his last action, he moved the guard that was in the zone with him over by Lorna.
So now we'll have guards coming up from this corruption. You can shoot free dice with them, right?
Yes.
Nice. And that's everybody?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we'll do zombies turn and then spawning. So everything moved up. Those zombies didn't get to go because of the freeze token.
Right.
And now we'll do spawning. So from number 1. Oh, the Filer Necromancer. From number 2.
2 walkers.
Yeah. From number 3.
4 brutes.
And then from the Defiler Necromancer zone. So if we had another Necromancer now, that's when we would have put the other Necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
But he would get to move too. So we'll deal with the first free ones, then we'll deal with that card.
Okay.
So it's again getting crowded fast.
Yeah.
So the Defiler Necromancer moved up the spawn zone and corrupts in that way. Lucky we got that Celestial. I figured he'd be pretty good in melee, but it's funny that he got the bow. He's going to help out get that.
Absolutely.
And we'll go over to Yazoo going first. So first thing Yazoo's going to do is search in that zone.
Halberd.
Nice.
It's 2 damage too. That's awesome.
Nice. 1-1. Cool. So I'll put that in his hand. So for a second action, I'm going to attack with a pole arm in the zone next to me. So it's 1 dice, hitting on freeze, 2 damage.
No.
But it does freeze, because he does have freeze melee, and that is, even though it's a 1-to-1, it's still a melee weapon.
Awesome.
So I get to freeze that zone. So for my third action, you don't have to have a line of sight to the guards to who you're directing. So I'm going to tell those guards to shoot 3 times down into that zone.
All right.
So hitting on 4s. I get 1. That pushes me to 6 dot yellow. Okay. So he's done. So I'm going to activate Usagi. Aya. Hornbow has marksman, so you don't have to worry about friendly fire. You don't hit your own guys. And it's 1 to 2. So I'm going to shoot out and hit that zone with a necromancer. And I get to pick my targets because I have marksman.
Nice.
So it's 1 dice hitting on 3, 2 damage.
No.
Well, her first action, she's going to try it again. Second action. And for her third action, she's going to try it again. There we go. And it takes out the necromancer, and a vault weapon will drop there too.
Nice.
So we'll pick up and just put that one flat there. And the defiler necromancer is gone. So I just noticed now when I was going overhead that this rune zone on the board, that's a wall there. So I wouldn't have been able to go 1, 2, 3. So to rectify it, next turn we'll take an action away from those two because they both did the same thing.
Okay.
So they'll only get 2 actions next turn.
Okay.
If they push to yellow, they'll just get 3 actions instead of 4.
All right.
So we'll rectify it that way. Arcus, you said it's going to go and he's going to shoot the ice bow?
Yeah, at that.
Okay.
Where the necromancer was.
Okay.
So it is 2 dice, and it hits on 3s. Awesome.
You got 2, and the zone gets frozen because of the ice bow.
So for his second action, he's going to use his guard action to get these guys to shoot at them.
Okay.
So
3 dice. Now, you do have +1 range guards with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually roll and hit that zone if you want. Or
Sure.
you hit the one in front of him.
Yeah.
You want to hit the zone with more?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's +1 to dice. Yeah, okay.
+1, what is it? +1 range?
+1. It's +1 to dice roll ranged.
So you don't get +1 range with that. You basically add 1 to your roll. So they normally hit on freeze.
Normally hit on
For
4s.
now they hit on freeze.
Yes. So we'll go after
Those guys.
Yep.
So 3 dice hitting on 4s, but if you roll 3, it counts as a 4.
Awesome.
So those 2 are gone. Then you get 2 XP.
So for his last action, he moved up.
Yeah. Because eventually we're going to have to get those objectives and maybe try to get those vault weapons too.
Yes.
Okay. And he's the first one in yellow. So now that activates our daily zombie. When we do our first walker spawn, we'll bring him out.
Right. So for her first action, she activated the guards that were back here and moved them up to the wall. So for her free move action, she's going to come down here, and then she's going to shoot at those guards.
For her first action?
Yes. So it is 1 dice, and it hits on 3s. She got 1.
Does that push her into yellow now?
Yes, it does. So now that she's pushed up into yellow, she has 2 more actions left. So she's going to shoot again before she goes back up on the wall.
Okay.
So hits on 3s. 1 more.
What's her blue ability for guards too?
Damage to ranged.
Nice. Okay.
And she's going to come back up. So I moved Orem up there for his activations, and he's done.
Hanzo came down the ladder and he went that way, going through the door, the right door this time instead of that wall being there.
Right.
And then we'll have to remember that Yazuk and Usagi lose an action last turn because they actually went over that wall.
Okay.
So that's everybody. So we'll do everyone moving. That zone with fatties would freeze so they don't get their activation. And then we'll do spawning.
And so would the walker one above it because he shot the...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So everything moved up. Now we'll do spawning. Now it's right next to the wall, number 1.
4 runners.
Okay. Number 2.
4 brutes.
And number 3. Necromancer. We're still again. And I think I mixed up the cards from last time we played. We still don't have Abomination coming out yet.
Not yet.
But he would spawn there. And then for his Defiler spawn point.
Zombie Siege.
Okay, so we'll deal with that once it comes. Because that means the runners are going to... Again, the runners keep coming up on that wall.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll deal with that. So it's getting crowded. We're running low on brutes too. We got to kill some of those.
Yeah.
And then they filed in the corruption zone and then went up. And we got another one over there. They didn't go up the ladder. It just did the siege. And it's Usagi's turn first. Because I'm missing out on the action because we went through that wall. Because it's over there. It's hard to see when it's up to there.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to roll 2 dice. Does 2 damage, hits on freeze. And those are her 2 actions she has. Hit both of them. So I got rid of those 2 fatties.
Cool.
I always forget. I was going to tell them to come down the ladder maybe. But that wall, that's the wall there. You can't see. So you can, on top of the wall, you can see over buildings, but not into them.
Right.
And you can see over ruins for sure. So if you're on that part, you could see over that building, but not inside into that zone.
So Ariakis is going to go for his first activation. He's going to go here. And then he's going to use the freeze bow to shoot over at...
Yeah, because you can see over the building, but you can't see into it.
Yeah, and the freeze bow, ice bow, unfortunately, only does 1 damage.
So okay.
It's 2 dice, and it hits on 3s.
You get both of them, so you don't freeze that zone because there's nobody in there, but they're both gone.
Cool. So for his last 2 actions, I moved him into the zone with Lorna.
He's kind of our sniper on the wall now, too, because then if you can move up and get that Necromancer next turn.
Yes, he is.
Nice.
So I'm going to use Lorna now, and she's going to, for her first action, she's going to do the guard action to attack in that zone.
Okay. And you don't do friendly fire and melee, so free guards, hits on 4s.
Yep.
Because her blue ability is just for range.
Yes.
Right? Range what?
Damage 2 range.
Okay.
For guards.
All you needed was 1, so you got that. And there was zombies spawned through corruption zone because of the necromancer coming, but we didn't draw a walker card yet, so that's why we don't have our daily walker out yet.
Right.
Okay. Second, you said you want to trade for the other bow that Arcus has?
Yes, I'm going to trade him for his war bow, so she has a better weapon.
Nice.
So now that she has the war bow, she's going to shoot at these zombies because it's 1 to 3.
Okay.
And it's 2 dice and it hits on 3s. Got 1.
And you're going to do that again for your last action?
Yep.
Nice. Got 2 more.
So for Organ's first action, I moved him into the zone with the objective. And then for his second action, I'm going to pick up the objective.
Okay.
It's another red one.
So there's still the last one that's in that corner is the other one. That one's tough to get to.
Yeah.
But you get 5 AP pushing them to yellow, right?
Yep.
So you got 2 more actions.
And his blue ability is also shove.
Okay, so he can push people that's in his zone into the next zone.
Yes. So I'm going to use Organ's guard action to push those runners from that corner because his guard action is push off back onto the number 1 spawn zone.
So yeah, that's okay because I was going to say you can actually push them that way if you want to, but no, we want them over there. That's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for his last action, he's going to use his lance to try to skewer one of those zombies.
Okay.
So it is 1 dice, hits on 3s.
Nice. So I moved over for 1 and then I'm going to search.
Okay.
This is my second action. Jump. Oh, that's going to come in handy.
Absolutely.
For my... I moved into the building for 1. I searched. Yeah. I'm going to trade for my last action, and I'm going to give that spell over to our spellcaster, and she's going to put it on her armor slot because I can hold enchantments.
Cool.
And you can't cast jump on guards. You can't cast enchantments on guards. It's a rule too.
So okay. Yeah, that's important. That's really important.
Yeah. Now it's going to go over to Yazuki. Only has 2 actions, 2 because we did that mess up with the wall.
Yes.
So for his first action, I'm going to try to spike that one walker out there.
All right.
With the halberd.
How many dice is it?
It's just one. Hits on free, 2 damage. Nice. You've been rolling a lot of 6s recently.
Fantastic.
So that actually pushes them to yellow. So I have 2 more actions now.
Cool.
So I'm going to push forward 1 into the zone right next to where that walker is, into where the rune is. And for his next action, I'm going to try to halberd that guy. Hits on freeze. But it does freeze that zone even though I missed. So he won't get to push into my zone from seeing me. Okay. And that's everybody. So now we'll do zombies and then spawning. So I was saying moved up, corruption went forward. And we'll do spawning. So number 1. There we go.
There he is.
Right by the battlement too. So what's he do? If there's no abomination, draw abomination card and spawn it. If there's already one, you get an next activation.
Yep.
So because it's not like the necromancer, the con doesn't have to be first. We'll just see which card is here first, even though there's 2. Oh, it's a Yeti.
Yeti.
So no line of sight to the Yeti unless the survivor stands within 0 to 1 of it.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So that Yeti is going to come at number 1. For number 2.
Zombie siege.
Ooh, so those zombies are going to go up and then all the corruption.
Is that going to put the Yeti on the wall too then? Because he came at number 1?
That's funny too, because zombies are considered, abominations are considered zombies.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Let's deal with that first before we get to other stuff. So those are the first 2?
Okay.
Okay. So because everything that's a zombie is obviously a zombie, so the abomination is a zombie, so he does go up there.
That's pretty scary.
Yes. Lucky we have push. Funny, push the Yeti off the wall. Okay. So that was number 2.
Mm-hmm.
What I got to double check too, we'll do the spawning first. I don't know if you can drop a cauldron in the zone next to it or just off the wall. I got to read on there.
Okay.
Okay. So for number 3 now. Yeah. Another abomination. Okay. So lucky we are playing with 2 abominations because that abomination will just get to go and punch one of those guards.
Yeah.
But the con one will go at number 3. And he can move through battlefield walkways. So normally the Yeti couldn't, but he just sieged up there. And then the con one's going to go right there.
Okay.
From the Defiler spot. Oh, zombie siege. Okay, so there's no ones at there. Those zombies don't get to go again, but we have to put another walker in each corruption zone.
Okay.
And then it will be
Arrakis' turn.
Okay. So that's everything. That's a little scary now too.
Yes.
So I checked. The cauldron can only be used for free actions or free guards in the same zone. And it has to be an adjacent zone that's not a battlefield walkway. So basically the zone off the wall. So I can't pour the cauldron into that zone, unfortunately.
Okay.
Roasting our own guards, but killing the abomination. Okay. So let's see what we're going to do.
So I activated Ariakis for his first activation. He moved over in the zone with the cauldron. And then he's going to use his other 3 activations to move the cauldron into the zone with Lorna and the guards.
Yeah, so it takes 3 actions to move a cauldron with a survivor, and you move with it. So the cauldron would move into your zone. Or you could use free guards in that zone to push it over 1 also.
All right.
You can take cauldrons upstairs, but not down ladders.
Okay. That makes sense.
I don't know if there's probably other missions where you have to probably push a cauldron up the stairs or something, but yeah, you can't push it down the ladder.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're defended there. Okay.
So for Lorna's first action, I moved the 2 guards over to the stairs. So I used Lorna's free action to come down off the wall, and then 2 more actions to get in the zone.
You have 1 more action. We're going to keep you there because I'm going to use my spell to probably jump you to where the zone is over there.
Okay.
Okay. And
we can't search in the ruins. So
yes, because there's snow on the ground, so you can't search in those ruin zones.
Right.
So she's done.
Yep.
So Oregon, push those guys down with his blue guard skill.
Yes.
And there's no rule stating you can't push big abominations, so they just are super strong and push them all down.
Yep.
Actually, I'm going to double check push if there is a specific rule saying you can't push abominations.
Okay.
So for your second action, you're going to search in that zone?
Yes. Hopefully we get some dragon bile. Salted meat.
You can get free. You want to get your free AP from that now?
Sure.
Okay. And for your third action, you said you're just going to come out of that building, maybe?
Yep. Hide in this corner. Hopefully.
Okay. You have one more action. You can make noise. It's not going to change it. It's just for you to use an action just so you'd use a bell token to
make noise.
Yeah. I think there's abomination that gets actions by how many noise tokens are on the board too. Similar. I think that was like the werewolf or something. One of the other ones.
The bat or something.
The bat, yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah, and it's not per survivor; it's per bell that's on it. Because that would be crazy too.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem with the bat because it went by survivors too. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so Oregon's done. So I got Hanzo and my team too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hanzo moved over. I got it. We got to push to get that objective.
Yeah.
So he does have Reaper melee, and I'm going to use my 2 swords. So it does 2 damage now because I have dual of them. So it's 2 dice total. Does 2 damage each, hitting on freeze. 1 hits, and because of Reaper melee, I can kill the other fatty. So I get 2.
Okay.
So even if I got 2 successes, I want to be able to kill the walker because Reaper only kills the same ones that you normally kill.
Right. It has to be one of the same kind. Right.
So for his third action, he's going to do that again. 2 attacks trying to kill that walker. On freeze. Come on. Got it. So that pushes him to yellow now. So I didn't know how well that was going to turn. I can't veto on going back and say I would have searched before I left because there's no point in me going up 1 anyway. And then you casting jump will just push me another 1 when I can go 2. So I'm just going to stay there and make noise.
Okay.
So he's done. And Yazuk's next. Yazuk's going to go, and I'm going to attack that zone where the fatties are.
All right.
It automatically going to freeze the zone because I have freeze melee.
Nice.
So it would freeze the zone, even if I don't hit. And 1 dice, 2 damage, hitting on freeze. I get 1 fatty. So for his second action, I brought the guards up the stairs. For his third action, he's going to go over 1. And because we checked freeze, freeze says even if you don't succeed, you still freeze the zone. My halberd only does 2 damage, so it would hit the abomination, which doesn't kill him. Can you still attack the zone knowing you can't do any damage? You can still do it knowing because it will trigger freeze, because you can still not damage them, but you can freeze the zone. It doesn't succeed in damage, but it still freezes it. So I think we can do it that way because it even says in brackets, it still freezes the zone if it doesn't succeed.
Right.
So that's how I'll play freeze. If anyone thinks that, or if they're going to errata that. I'm going to attack that zone. There's no point in rolling dice because even if I succeed, it would hit the abomination. Doesn't kill him, but because it has freeze melee, it freezes the zone.
Okay.
So he's done. So let's call her Aya for now. She's going to cast jump on Hanzo, and he's going to move 2 over towards the objective.
Okay.
Her third action is to move those guards into that zone, trying to get to that cauldron to help out over there.
Yeah.
For her last action, she's going to search in that zone.
Firebolt.
Well, that helps her.
Ooh.
What's that do? 0 to 2. Oh, 2 damage. Nice.
It's only 1 dice, but still.
I'm going to put that... How's that? Gain 1 dice with another equipped combat spell. Okay. So I'm going to put Firebolt. Because she has Spellbook, actually, anything in your backpack, it even says, is still considered equipped in your hand.
Yeah.
But I still have to delegate which 2 I'm using.
Okay.
When I do it. Because like in the last game, you don't have free hands, but I can cast Firebolt and jump. But then I can't cast Powerbolt.
Right. Okay.
So that's her turn, and that's everybody.
Yep.
So we'll do zombie moving and then spawning. So everything moved. They move towards down there because they can see you down the street. Stuff moved into Hanzo zone. That's everything so far. So we'll do spawning. So from number 1.
Zombie siege.
Oh, that's going to suck. Okay, so let's do that one first. So we'll spawn this walker in each corruption zone, and then stuff's going to go up on the wall.
Okay.
So that sucks. They're up on the wall now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now from number 2. We are in yellow, so 2 brutes. And number 3. Oh, necromancer. So he'll push that zone up 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And from the Defiler zone,
Two
two
runners.
runners. So we still haven't brought another Walker card. We're
No.
waiting for to bring that guy. Okay, so we'll do that, and then it will be whose turn next?
It'll be Lorna's turn.
Okay, so that's us so far, and it's
Lorna's turn.
okay. So Lorna's going to activate those guards, even though they're better with rangeless guards. We got to kill those in the zone.
Yeah. So
Okay, free dice hitting on 4s.
Yep. Let's hope. Fingers crossed.
So you got 1. So you spent a free move to go over, another move to go over there. So that was your second action.
Yeah.
You can search the flag zone more than once because they say it's not a search action. So you can search that twice if you want.
Okay.
So you're going to search it for 2 Dragon Bile cards.
Yes.
And there's none in the discard pile, so we'll just take it from the inventory
Okay.
so far. So you got 2. You want to shuffle up the inventory deck too, because it says shuffle up afterwards.
Do I put the...
Oh, no, those are discarded still. You don't discard.
Okay. I didn't know if I had to add
No.
them.
Okay, we're good. Lorna's done, so now it's Organ's turn.
Yes. So Ogun moved up 2, and then he's going to use his shove ability to shove everybody else that's in that zone into the zone.
Next
of the
zone.
abomination.
So then I can freeze that zone.
Yeah.
Can't kill them, but I'll just keep freezing them.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. For a third action, you push the zombies off you, the guard ability.
Yes.
Okay. And then you have 1 more action.
He is going to back up.
Oh, because it's 1 to free. Where were you? Because I'm going to freeze that zone. So instead of going back, you'll do lightning bolt.
Yes.
0 to free, trying to target the zone. It won't hit the necromancer, but it's going to help when your guy with the bow will shoot in that zone.
Yes.
Okay. Makes noise. Hits on 4s.
Yes. 1 dice.
It doesn't matter. Okay. So Hanjo's going to attack in his zone. 2 dice hitting on freeze. Got them both. So he moved over there for a second action. Third action, I'm going to pick that up. All right, so that should be the green one, unless we messed up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great one.
Okay. So that gives me a vault weapon. What do I get? What is this?
Storm crossbow.
1 to 4. Geez. 2, that's pretty good. 4. Okay. 2 dice. Where I'm at now, I'm going to put that in I'm going to switch now. I'm not going to have my 2 swords out. I'll put one of that in my other hand.
Okay.
So that also has iron range. So basically it has 2 attacks, but if you roll dice equal to the amount of zombies that are in that zone. So if there's 5 zombies in there, you roll 5 dice.
Awesome.
Cool. So for his third action, I'm going to shoot into the zone with 3 zombies. So I roll 3 dice because of iron rain. Hits on 4s. I got 2 of them.
Cool.
For my last action, those 2 guards are going to swing in that zone and attack those walkers.
Okay.
His guards get 2 damage melee, but there's no walkers and brutes in there anyway.
Okay.
So 2 dice hitting on 4s. He got 1 of them. So Yazuk's going to rinse and repeat. Attack that zone, freeze it. Can't do damage because I don't have free. But I'll do that. I'm going to move those guards into that zone because I'm going to push them off with Aya on her turn.
Okay.
So for his third action, I'm going to go in there with Lorna. And for his fourth action, I'm going to get a Dragon Bile card from the deck.
Okay.
So I used her guard ability to push him off the wall. I'm going to cast... Ooh, I see Organ too. He is a noise. He's in this tight spot too. Let's do my bow first. I'm going to shoot my bow at that 1 zombie. The horn bow. 1 dice hitting on freeze. Does 2 damage. I got it. So I was debating about jumping myself, but then I'd have to spend another action to get the vault weapon.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be greedy and get it. I'm going to jump Organ onto the wall. Unless you want to jump into that zone, but that's bad. It's not frozen. So I'll jump you back onto the wall. Because it says you can actually use it to get onto the wall. Good?
Yeah.
I totally forgot because we used to play team and team, but we're going first player switch.
Yeah.
So you still get to go with, what's that?
Ariakis.
And we have the cauldron for you pushed off. You can dump it into that zone.
Yeah.
Nice. So all those zombies are dead. You're going to get crap ton of experience because you still get 5 AP for
For
abomination.
the Yeti? Cool.
And then the rest of them. So we used our first cauldron because there's free guards there. They'll dump it into there. I was lucky. I was worried you'd get another zombie seeds and they come back and we'd have to try to deal with that again. Those poor guards are going to get eaten. And you are now in orange, our first character in orange.
Yeah.
So you get to pick between 2 orange skills. Which ones?
+1 free melee action or bloodless melee when he doesn't have a melee weapon.
Just beat the shit out of them with your bow.
Yeah.
Bloodlust, you get more out of your activation because Bloodlust, if I remember correctly, lets you do a free move and then you do attack in the zone.
Oh, okay.
So you do a move activation and attack activation, where the other one is just a
free melee.
Free melee. So you're only getting 1 activation out of it. So I think Bloodlust melee might be better.
Okay.
Even though you don't have it yet.
Yeah.
But it's up to you. You want to do that one?
Yeah, we'll do bloodless melee.
Okay. So that was his first action.
Yes.
And then he's just going to have a pretty good turn. We want to bring him down to shoot, hopefully trying to deal with that zone.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's going to come down here.
Yep.
And he's going to shoot the freeze bow.
Because it's 0 to...
It's 1 to 3.
Okay. So that was your second to come down, third to shoot in that zone.
Yes. So it is 2 dice and hits on 3s.
And it has freeze, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're aiming at the zone with the necromancer.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You get 2 of them, and you freeze the zone.
Awesome.
Because it has freeze, right?
Yes.
So freeze also stops the Defiler Necromancer from pushing the zone forward, too, which is nice.
Yeah.
So rinse and repeat. You can't double freeze the zone. You can only have 1 token freeze there.
No, but we're going for that necromancer. So.
Yeah. It's on freeze. So runner first. So the Necromancer's still there, but the zone is frozen.
Yeah.
And there's actually certain add-ons that say they can only spawn once. There's some abominations that actually say on the card they can only come back on the board. You can only bring them on the board once. You can't respawn them.
Oh, okay.
I think because there's ones that you kill, like I think it's the red hair. You get benefits for killing them.
Oh.
So you can't spam killing them to get the benefits.
That makes sense.
But so if we draw another abomination while we're there, we'll bring back the Yeti. Right now he's dead, but he can come back.
Okay. And that's everybody.
And that bow doesn't make noise, does it?
No.
Okay. So far though, I've seen so many spells that make noise, or if you make it. So we'll do the zombie activation and then spawning. So those zombies would go. There's 3 of them there. They would do all their attacks at the same time. There wouldn't be a leftover one.
Okay.
So just 1 guard is going to get super equal. So those 4 guards are dead. So everything moved up. Those frees really help. Spawn didn't move up forward. We move those there because he's 1 noise towards that way. There's also noises up there towards the building. I figured we'd move them there.
Okay.
Okay, so spawning now. Number 1. That's the equipment.
Oh.
Abomination. It's funny, we were just talking about the Yeti. So the Yeti's back at the wall. He's on fire and at the wall at number 1. A Yeti on fire is even more scary.
I was going to say, maybe he likes fire. You don't know his life.
So number 2.
1 extra activation, all brutes. Oh, crap.
Okay, so those brutes are going to go towards Hanzo.
Okay.
So when abominations die, they also drop vault weapons. So the spot where we pushed them off and burned them, there'd be a vault weapon there. And probably because if you're only playing with 1 abomination, all abominations can climb up on the battlefield. Even though that's a con special rule, all abominations have that rule.
Okay.
So the Yeti can climb up. Okay, so he went there. And then we'll do the extra activations brutes. So from number 3. Oh, we're in orange now. Oh, did I do that wrong? Extra brutes. Okay, no, we haven't. We are in orange, so 8 walkers. And for first time now, we'll bring our daily zombie from number 3.
Okay.
So how that works, in the player phase, we roll a dice, and then he can switch into something else. He could be abomination, a runner, or a walker.
Ooh.
But we'll spawn him there, and then on our phase, we roll to see what he is.
Okay.
I didn't even think about that, putting him in that bad spot where the zone was.
I didn't even.
Okay. But from the Defiler zone. Okay, runners, 6 runners. And then it will be Did you move it over? Yeah, it's Oregon's turn next, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we put the 7 walkers, and then the 8th one was the daily Danuki guy. Banky Dookie. I can't even. Where is he? Here's his cool picture. So roll a dice to see what he is. So 3. Right now he's a runner.
Okay.
So put a dice next to him so he knows what he is. So he's a runner right now.
Okay.
So for your first 2 actions, you moved up the guards.
I did.
Then you came down.
And shoved all of the stuff that was in that zone off of poor Ariakis.
Okay. And now you still have 2 more actions?
Yes.
So you're going to cast your lightning bolt spell?
Yeah.
Just try to pick off one of those runners maybe.
And it makes noise. So we'll put...
Hits on 4s. Nice, you got one. And you just went back up.
Yes.
So we're just checking because we don't want to cheat. The ladder stays in the corruption zone. There's nothing in about the corruption zones, even though it's in 2 separate parts, which is stupid. Objectives are removed if the corruption hits it. So if you're playing with certain games with objectives, it's a hit it, you can lose a game.
Right.
It kills the special abilities of the zone. So the walkway, you could walk right through it. The ladder stays. There's nothing in the ladder rules or the corruption rules or the part about the Defiler Necromancer about corruption rules about the rope ladder. Because if it killed the rope ladder, we couldn't have done what we did.
Right.
But unless that gets FAQ'd, that rope ladder is technically still there. Okay. It's just covered in a cloud of corruption
green stuff.
Okay. It's weird that it kills the objective, but it doesn't kill that token. That's why I wanted to check.
Okay.
So the ladder is still there. Probably because they may have playtested and stuff like that that could affect the game a lot.
Yeah, it can make
especially if you rely on those ladders. Yeah, that's probably if you rely on those ladders to get back up, and you just like if we would have put the ladder over there and it got corrupted, we have no way to bet back up, and then the game's done.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I kind of screwed myself over there because I don't have a 2 damage weapon to deal with the walkers, the brutes. But I just checked. Maybe it was in previous editions, or we added that special rule. That you couldn't trade with a zombie in your zone.
Right.
This one, it says for 1 action, you can reorganize your inventory for free or trade with somebody else. It doesn't even say anything about there not being a zombie in your zone.
Yeah, I don't remember if we had because we did a couple random homebrew things. I don't remember if that
But I remember that before, I think we did that. You can't trade with somebody in your zone.
Yeah.
But this one you can, and you can reorganize your inventory even though there's zombies there. So for 1 action, I'm going to switch over to my 2 swords.
Okay.
For my second action, I'm going to attack those 2 brutes. So 2 dice, hitting on freeze, Wisp Reaper. So both of them. That's another rule that's weird. Oh no, because you have to target priority. I couldn't say 1 went to the brute, then 1 went to the walker, and then Reaper the other brute. Because for target priority, they both have to hit the brutes. Then if there's carryover afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, so the walker's still alive. For my third action, I'm going to attack that walker. Same thing, 2 dice. Got it. And for my last action, I'll move there, but I don't get to see what it is yet because I got to spend an action.
Right.
So Yazuk moved up twice, and I'm going to spend his third action to attack that zone with a halberd, which would freeze it. 1 dice, 2 damage. Does it. So I just move forward for my last action. So, Usagi-aya, I'm going to use Firebolt because Firebolt's actually 0 to 2. And it's 1 dice hits on 4s. And because she has Power Blast, and I gain 1 die with another equipped combat spell, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So, I am going to pick, because it's going to come up later, I get the ability for Power Blast because it's part of my equipment. But my 2 things I'm going to use are Firebolt for sure. I think you have to delegate it before you start attacking.
Okay.
And the bow is only 1. And jump. So those are the 2 things I'm going to be using.
Okay.
So Firebolt, I get 2 dice because of the equipment. Hitting on 4s. Nice. Oh, I thought I was only get 1. But 2 brutes are gone and there's noise there. Second action, rinse and repeat.
Nope.
Ugh. Okay. Oh, this is going to be bad. She can't jump out of there. Her guards can do push. She's going to take 2 damage if I don't. I'll have to do it again. So she's going to go. Hit it on 4s. Oh, I was lucky. I thought she was going to be. Okay, so that's 2 more noise there because I did 2 spells. And those brutes are gone. So that does push her to 8 now. So she is in yellow.
Awesome.
And I did pick jump. So is there? No, Steph, you can't jump. That is a wall there. We can't jump. I can jump into the zone over where that is. Right next to the brute. I don't think what's up?
That's a wall.
That's a door.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think Hansel's okay. I don't want to jinx it. I'm going to cast jump on myself.
Yeah.
And jump myself through the door, which you can, onto the wall. See ya. And she's done. So you're going to shoot your bow with Arcus?
Yeah.
I already put the freeze token there because it automatically freezes the zone. Okay.
So 2 dice hits on 3s.
You kill 1 runner, and then that zone's frozen. So you went back up for 1 and pushed those guards up?
Yes.
For your 3rd action.
Yes.
You have 1 action left. You can shoot into... Oh, your bow only does 1 damage, right?
Yes, the bow only does 1 damage.
I think that's it, really.
Yeah, I don't think there's a point in moving him.
Oh, if those zombies... Because we want him to keep freezing that zone. Depending, because you can... If you do move into the next zone, maybe next turn it might help if you have to freeze a zone that way. That's the only other thing I could think if you want to move that way. Because that Yeti is going to be coming up on the wall too.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe move over 1.
Okay.
So Lorna's going to get the other Dragon Bile from the flag.
Yes.
And now we have all those. We got the objectives. Now we just got to get to the wall and push stuff off the wall. Get the guards on there. So we got the last one. Shuffle that. Okay. You have a free move action, so I'm assuming you're going to move forward.
Yes.
So your last 2 actions, you moved up.
Yes.
And now we decide if we want to shoot or move the guards forward. The whole point is to get the guards on the wall. We don't lose if we lose guards. So it may be more productive to get the guards forward than actually kill those because we have pushes and ways to deal with those guys anyway.
I think so.
So to fast get the game moving forward, probably we'll move those guys forward?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll do moving and then spawning. So because the zones are small in this, we just piled. It's a pile. It's a pile of zombies in there. The daily ones over there too, but they moved. They were frozen. That Yeti came up. They moved forward. There was a wall there, so that walker couldn't go through that wall like it happened to us. So he went towards the noise, which is that way.
Yes.
And that one went forward. So now we'll do spawning. So some number 1.
Extra activation, all walkers.
Okay, so let's do that first. So right off the bat, those 3 walkers would have killed those 3 guards?
Yes.
Oh.
That sucks.
Okay. So that walker, even though he was with a lot of noise, looked through the door and saw her up on the battlement, so he moved forward. All those walkers in that zone moved forward. And the daily, he started as a walker, but right now he's a runner, so he doesn't move until that switches at our phase.
Right.
Okay. So from number 2.
6 runners.
Okay. We can do that another. So number 3. Defiler Necromancer. So that zone will move up 1. Okay, so let's do those next. So yeah, we got to maybe 3D print or figure out something about a vertical stand for everything because that's crazy.
Yeah.
Everything there. Corruption move forward from the Defiler spawn now. Zombie Siege.
Oh, crap.
Okay, so how this would work, which is just another weird, let's do the spawning in East Corruption Zone first. So, pretty crazy. What came in our favor, though, is, it came up before, so the Cauldron's still there, because we figured out what the local ladder is, it's only objectives that go, so the Cauldron is still there.
Mm-hmm.
So we can still dump that in that zone.
Yeah.
The Seed's card goes up on battlefield walls because it specifically says zombies may perform one move to climb up onto a battlefield walkway. That was a battlefield walkway. The corruption turned it into a corruption zone, so it loses all abilities. So that's not a battlefield walkway now. So those guys don't go up there.
Thank goodness.
So that worked into our favor.
Yeah, that would have been
Oregon
bad.
could have shoved them off with its ability, but so that is them. So it's over to us now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to get back on this wall and push stuff off.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is there free guards in that zone?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I didn't even know I could. What can you do? Escalation, hit and run. Ooh. Okay, I'm just going to double check here because I can spend a guard action to use those free guards to dump that cauldron into that zone because it's free there. But what's the better bet? Giving all the XP to Hanzo or giving it to somebody else? So that's what we're going to check quickly.
Okay.
So after going through it, Hanzo and Yazuk were probably the best bets because hit and run. But if we dump it, there won't be anything for Hanzo to hit and run from.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to use it with Hanzo.
Okay.
So Hanzo's going to, for his first ability, use those free guards to dump that cauldron into the cluster of zombies there. So we're going to add that up and see if he goes crazy.
Okay.
So we also checked, you could still do that even though there's a zombie in your zone.
Cool.
So I got a crap ton of experience. I am now at 34. So I am going to pick Escalation Melee, which means every time I attack, I get an extra dice if I continually attack. With Reaper, that's mean, so he can blend a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I am going to pick Hit and Run, though.
Okay.
So for my second action, I'm going to hit that zone with my 2 swords, hit it on freeze. I kill one, Reaper will kill another one, and then I get Hit and Run.
Nice.
So because we're trying to finish it, I'm not going to get those vault weapons. They're tempting, but I already got one, and I'm hopefully relying on Aya to get me up there with jump.
Yeah.
So he's done. Yazir's going to go, and I brought some guards closer to the stairs. Second action to the corruption where the ladder is. Third action up. Fourth action, I'm going to attack with my halberd. It's melee, so no friendly fire. Hitting on freeze. Good. So I'm going to pick Aya again. Her first thing she's going to do is, because I don't want him in my zone, my spells are going to be jump and firebolt. I'm going to pick those two for in their hands.
Okay.
And I'm going to do firebolt in my zone first so I don't do friendly fire. So it's 2 dice because I have power blast in my inventory. Hitting on 4s. Phew, good. Okay, so there's a noise there and that zombie in my zone's gone. Her second action is to cast jump because you can only do it once a turn. You can't spam jump.
Right.
I'm going to jump Hanzo onto the battlefield.
Okay. On
the battlement walls. So for my third action, I'm going to attack firebolt on those zombies there. Jeez, nice. I needed that. So those 2 are gone. So for our last action, I push the guards up to the stairs.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some shenanigans here. Well, you moved
Ariakis up and
you traded for a jump.
yes.
You're going to cast jump now on Oregon to push you 2 zones over to where you just moved to.
Yes.
Because even though jump is a one-time spell, what's it say on jump?
Once per turn, the targeted survivor may immediately perform 1 free action to use
So
the
it's
jump
once
skill.
per turn. It's kind of like reload ability. One person already used it, but if you trade, the other person can still use it once a turn.
Okay.
So now move that there. You still have 2 more actions.
Yes.
You'll bring the guards up to the battlefield wall. Yeah, you can bring those ones up.
Yeah.
You have 1 more action. You can shoot the bow.
At that walker.
Yeah.
So 2 dice.
Yeah.
Hits on 3s.
Got it. Lorna's going to go. Her 1 action, you still will bring the guards up.
Yep.
The stairs. So now our next thing is bringing Lorna up. So free action.
Free move. Up here.
Okay. So then that was your first free move over, 1 action up. Your guard action was 2.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your range? What's your 1 to free?
On the war ball.
1 to free?
Yeah.
So 1, 2,
But it only
free.
does 1 damage.
Oh, you can try to kill that 1 zombie right there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Just
Because we got this now. You got him. Okay. And that jump spell really helped us this game because that's going to end it. Now Oregon's going to go. He's going to go move 2 zones.
1, 2.
And push the now flaming you and kick him back Yeti off. Everyone's on the wall. We have all the guards on the wall that are left. We have all the objectives. That'd be funny if we randomly forgot something. Did we got them all? We did it.
No.
Oh shit, there's one right there. No, we got it.
And we have all the dragon bile.
So we did it.
Yeah.
So that was a longer one. We'll see once there's cuts and stuff, but that was tough.
Yeah. And of course, I think it only said 60 minutes in the book.
It's they're never,
Yeah,
but
they're
with
never
cuts because we do a lot of talking off screen and setting stuff up. But we'll see. We didn't get to see what those vault weapons are. I'm not going to flip them because I want to know what stuff is later.
Yeah, we like surprises.
So, but yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
The only because I didn't finish her. I did a test of this before. I had the necromancer that can, if she has a line of sight at you, she freezes your zone.
Ooh.
So that makes it a little tough too, because if she's down here, she can see in the straight line, you lose an action.
Yeah.
But I'll have her hopefully ready for the next game we play.
I love that it's combined some of the other elements that are really cool from the other versions that we played. And it has some of the challenging parts of, I forget what the Wild West one was called.
Dead or Alive?
Yeah, that we liked. So, like the freezing and the stuff like that, I think is neat. And the added of the necromancers. Ooh.
Yeah, because we never played Black Plague or
No.
there. We always looked into it. Green Tide, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's interesting that we can combine characters from.
Yeah, we might have to look into that now too. And that was that guard skill we used was the Celestial, and we didn't even use his ability because I saw it. I only wanted to try out. I wanted to pay one up for a customer and try him out that he would be pretty OP. Him getting the bow is what made him OP this game.
Yeah,
we didn't even use his ability.
No, because it's.
But I'm sure if you take
range.
an entire team of them and they all have those abilities, it can be pretty strong. If you're having tough time with a mission, using the Celestial Knights might help.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was fun. I mean, we always liked Zombicide games, and the Yeti's cool.
Oh yeah.
Not that the con isn't cool, but we didn't totally see what. Where did he go? The daily.
Oh, we didn't. Okay, we would have. What would he have been? Roll the dice. We didn't do that. Oh, 6. I think. Oh, that's 6 means he's a walker.
Okay.
He can become an abomination too.
That's funny. I like it.
Yep. Well, thanks for coming out.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.